Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a slightly older set. This is the UNSC Marines Customizer Pack. This is one that was kind of a Dollar General staple for a while. They've kind of phased it out, but occasionally you'll find one. I had bought one a while back, but I didn't really keep it in condition where I could review it. So I found this when I was on a trip. It did not have the back. I don't really know why somebody took the back, but it looks like it has all the pieces. So we are going to go ahead and take a look at it today. So this is just your standard like blister pack sort of thing. It's set up the same way as the Brutes Customizer Pack. There's the Spartan 3 Customizer. There's been a whole handful. There was an ODST one, which I really want them to redo. That would be fantastic. But yeah, usually you have to like obliterate the backing to get this out, but there is no backing this time, so I can just kind of do that, and then it pops out. We have our cardboard, we have our parts checklist, aka instructions. Really the only thing we need to know how to build are the flamers tanks, but there's all the parts. Then we get crates with some stands. And then in here, there's the parts for the flamer tanks. And then we have our figures. And it's always such a pain to get them out of here. There's our Marine. I believe this was the only time we saw the Marine in this particular color scheme, I think. I don't know if they came in any sets with this color scheme, with the stone gray kind of thing. Also, does he have... No, he doesn't. It just sticks out a little bit. Okay. That's fine. Oh, he just died. We have a flamer. I've actually gotten quite a few of these guys. I think I have 4 at least, maybe 5, and now 6 or something. But yeah, they're real beefy, pretty cool looking. We get a flame piece. We get... Ooh, I don't really... I don't want to break the armor by trying to pop it out. But at the same time, how am I supposed to get it out? Okay, there we go. We have the heavy Marine armor, which we will take a closer look at after I finish struggling to get it out. Helmet. Thigh plates. Shoulders. I'm very glad they gave us crates, because this is a lot of stuff to have just floating around. Ooh. Or being thrown around in some cases. We have a rocket launcher. I think I'm going to have to buy new like backdrop and stuff for my studio here soon. These ones are getting real worn. Sniper rifle. Always good to get more of those. Flamethrower. And flame pack. So there's the mess that I just created. So now I'm going to get everything kind of organized and we'll take a closer look. There we go. We've got everything in the crates, mostly. We'll talk about that in a second. We got our figures built. So let's go ahead and we will start with that Marine. So this guy is, when you just take him out of the package, you're just like standard Halo 4 Marine. No bells or whistles, really. He's got print for his little chin strap and his eyes and his face. But other than that, he just has plain stone gray, like vest, boots, shoulders, forearms, and I think that's great. He's very generic. You can fit him anywhere. He doesn't belong to like any specific squad based on his coloring. You could paint him, you could weather him, you can leave him as is, and it's pretty much perfect. You can get a squad of these guys. You know, it's just a good way to get a generic Halo 4 Marine. Or, I don't know how easy it is to get it anymore now that Dollar General stopped carrying it. It might still be kind of hard now, but yeah, it was a good way to get a generic Halo 4 Marine, and the gray was kind of interesting. A lot of the Halo 4 guys had tan as the like, it's like tan and green, but this is a cool change of pace. He has the Halo 4 and 5 AR. This one is the one without the rail, so you can't add any attachments on, and it's also a thin barrel, which means you cannot put muzzle flares on. So that's kind of a bummer. I do like the ones that don't have the rail because it just is a more solid design. But the thin barrel and not being able to put muzzle flares on is kind of a bummer. So there's that. And then we have the crate with some armor so that we can make this guy into a heavy marine. So we can swap some parts off. Now, I've seen what this looks like before, and I'm not totally sure how I feel about it. So we can pop that off, swap the shoulders on. There's no print on this heavy torso, unfortunately. Sometimes they'll do print on there, but not this time. Then we have to take the legs off. We can leave this on if we wanted to, the little pouch strap, but they come with 2 of these heavy marine leg plates. So we're gonna put that on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Like so, and then pop that on. So that looks pretty cool. We just kind of have a lot going on now. There's dark gray, there's black, there's green, and there's light gray. I feel like the chest plate and head could have used some light gray print, and that would have really brought everything together. As it is, I feel like it's a bit disconnected, because if you see him from here, he looks like dark gray and green, but then you see him from here, he looks like light gray and green. So it's a little bit messy. I don't feel like it was fully thought out, you know, giving the dark gray stuff. Or they could have just made this light gray heavy armor, and that would have been fine too. So, I don't know, a bit of a weird choice. It's not a terrible looking figure. It's still very cool, and these heavy marines just look so good to me. But yeah, the coloring is a little all over the place. Could have been a little bit better. I personally think I prefer keeping him in his normal marine getup, but I do like getting extra heavy stuff, because now I can put the heavy gear onto some other figure, and that's really helpful. Actually, I reviewed Blizzard Squad a while back, and if you guys remember, my marine who had this helmet had like his blue splattered all over his face. So then I actually just took my extra heavy head and put it on him, and now that figure is actually usable. And so that's kind of like one of the great things about this set, is you don't necessarily have to use it as a customizer for this set. You can just use the extra pieces to customize figures that you already have in your collection. And then here's our flamer. He has the little marmalade spray. It's not actually supposed to be marmalade. It just makes me think of marmalade, kind of the texturing and the color. But I love this piece. This is so cool. This is not one of the ones that have the red marbled in. Those ones, to me, look the best. But this is still an absolutely fantastic piece to get. Great for dioramas, add some life. And it's just very good. I'm happy that Mega put this in here. So obviously you get one of the newer flamethrowers that can peg in the flame. The end of this one looks a little wrongly molded, but it doesn't affect the flame piece being plugged in at all. So that's good. And then also, I believe this flame piece can be held in a figure's hand. Not really sure why that's helpful, but yeah, you can do that. I've seen some people use them as like flares, like the person is holding a flare. This does come in gray too, so you could get a gray one and do that. The flamethrower is just in this kind of gray-green color. Then the flamer himself is very bulky. He's got pretty nice visor print, actually. And I think, yeah, that's all the print he has on his head is the visor print. Then he has a black printed collar. No shoulder armor, but that's good because now he can T-pose even with his bulky shoulder pads up here. Big, real thick lower legs. He's got normal marine armor for the upper legs. Whoa, come back. His backpack is many pieces. Each one of these is 4, and then the backpack itself is a piece. This is real loose. I don't really know why. My other flamers don't really have this issue so much, but this very loose. Like, I can actually just tip it out. That's not good. Oh, I'm putting it on backwards. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to do something about that. Sticky tack or some super glue or something. Yeah, that's weird. I guess it's probably just a issue that pops up every now and again. Because like I said, I have like 4 or so of these guys, and they don't really have this problem. Or if they are loose, they're not that bad. But it does look cool. I like all the piping. I like how the tanks are offset. The bulkiness of the figure doesn't really get in the way of articulation too much. I remember in Jang's video, he was saying the head was very limited. But if you tuck the chin down in, he can get some decent movement. It's not too limited. Like, he's not Spider-Man, obviously, but for what he is, I think that's pretty decent articulation. And he has a very generic, very usable color scheme. Overall, fantastic figure. So now we have all of our extra weapons. Now, the extra weapons kind of just go for this dude because the flamer is a flamer, so he's not really going to be using other weapons. But we get a sniper rifle, and it has, as usual, the problem with the barrel tilting upward. It also really doesn't stay in his hand very well. That's odd. But yeah, I think Mega is going to need to update this sniper mold, because what happens is the way the clip is, when we force it in, it will then bend the barrel upward. This one bends a lot. I might have to sand down that clip because that looks very wrong. You're going to shoot and go up. That's no. Snipers are great to get, but not when they look like that. We have a missile launcher. This is the Halo 4 and 5 version. So not a spanker, but it is nice to get. And in case you didn't know, if you get one of the gray ones of these, you can peg it into the back. Or I guess you could use the orange, and that can simulate the rocket shooting out, like the exhaust. So that's pretty cool. We get a SOCOM pistol and a battle rifle, and this is the version without the rail. So very nice selection of weapons. This guy has more weapons than he can use. So this is also a great set to get if you just need some extra UNSC weapons. Because, again, there is one Marine who would be using these weapons, and there are 5 weapons. Well, 6 if you count the flamethrower. So it's a very nice selection. Unfortunately, you can't actually fit all of the weapons in the crates, because when you put all of these in, unless, I guess you could put them in by, like, removing the stand. If you remove the stand, then you can fit all of the weapons in the crate. If you don't remove the stand, then you can't fit all the weapons. And then the armor takes up most of the second crate, so you can't really fit any of the big weapons in there. So if you take the stand off, you can package everything up all nice and neat. If you don't take the stand off, then it has to sit on top. Well, there you have it. That is the UNSC Marines Customizer Pack. Just like with the Brutes Customizer Pack that I looked at a while ago, this doesn't feel like a customizer pack as much as some of Mega's newer customizer packs. Like the new Spartan customizers, you have so many options. With this one, you basically just, it's a figure pack with extra weapons and an extra set of armor. So there's not a ton of customization, but I feel like it's just a really solid set. There's nothing about this set that makes me go, oh, they shouldn't have done that, like, a lot. The gray heavy armor is a little bit weird, but I know some of you guys probably will like that mix. It feels a little busy to me, but it's not bad. The selection of weapons is great. The little marmalade spray is great. Getting the heavy flamer guys is cool. I've actually turned some of them into like heavy Marines, so you can do that. Yeah, it's just a really good set. And it was a great one to army build. Obviously, eventually, you're going to not want so many flamers, and you want more of these guys. But for how available they were, I think this was a good setup. I don't really like how bent the sniper rifle got. That's weird. But that's not really an issue with this set. It's an issue with the design of the sniper. So yeah, overall, very solid set. Pretty happy with it. I'm very happy to get another one. And I would recommend it, but I don't recommend paying lots and lots of money for it. This is like $15 feels okay. Anything higher than $15 feels not okay. And then, of course, I don't know what it's going for online, but if you can find it in a Dollar General for $15 or less, I would say definitely pick it up. I found this one for like $11, and that's a very fair price to me. So yeah, highly recommend it, but don't overpay because it is just generic Marines, and one of them is a flamer, so eventually you can have too many of those. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.